19 years on YouTube, over 400,000 subscribed. And today, I'm sincerely asking some of you guys to unsubscribe. Not all of you, though. If you've been here since the beginning, hold on. You're the main reason why I'm doing this next chapter in the first place. So this isn't one of those like, I quit YouTube videos. It's not a stunt. It's not even a soft goodbye. What I'm doing right now is ending my old self, because after videos like these, oh, I'm on my hiatus. Why are you still here? I'm back again. So to be quite honest with you guys, I don't think I've made anything good in the last several years on this channel. There was a time when I had a lot of fun vlogging, sharing my life with you and all that. But as soon as I realized I was doing some half-effort garbage, I just stopped posting. And some of you guys are so awesome that you'll watch anything I post. But I was out here like, why do they want to watch this boring ass life? What? If you've been riding for years, you've been hella loyal, you just been there for me, this next era is for you. I want to give you something that's worth watching. And the reason why I'm doing this has way more to do with you than me, and I'll get to that in just a minute. So I think we all done risky stuff in life, but why does change feel intimidating no matter what it is? At the very core, I think we're all afraid of losing the people who knew the old version of us. In my case, it was the fear of losing you. But everyone knows how this feels. You know, it's why people stay in careers that they've outgrown. It's why people are in stale relationships that they just can't figure out, and they know they need to leave, but they stay. So I want you to ask yourself, are you playing this old character? Like maybe they see you as this dude from high school still, and you've outgrown this person and that no longer suits you anymore. But you feel kind of stuck in being the same person for the past 10 years because of what's expected out of you. Especially because you're afraid that people will clown you for evolving, right? It's kind of like if you've been dressing sloppy all your life and they like to laugh. They're like, oh, it's homeless Joe again, whatever. And then you start cleaning up, and then your friends start noticing it. They're like, oh, what's up, pretty boy? What's going on now, right? And I think people don't want that attention, so they don't take risks, and they don't ever want to change. So if you relate to all of this, then this is definitely something we're both going through, and it's not just about my channel. But the central thing at the very core that I missed ultimately was learning together with you. When I first started JK Films, the whole core of it all was teaching good things in a bad way. And over the years, I think that still is something that's really meaningful to me. And I don't mean to come at you guys as this old wise guru. And I think I never did portray that. I was more like the goofy retard that stumbles upon success. And then you guys are rooting for the loser to win. But as I'm working the shop at Jumbi, I'll be working the register randomly. Someone that's been watching for a long, long time would come up to me. And it really warms my heart when you tell me, hey, I've been watching since junior high. I'm a great grandfather now with 5 families and 10 generations. And I'm like, dang, dude, thank you for making me feel like a dinosaur that you've loved for a very long time. I think it made me feel guilty, like, oh man, I'm not putting the best efforts into any of my content making. I was performing like an old identity that no longer really suits me. I just wanted to make the audience happy. But every single time I went to create content, I was like frustrated. I didn't really enjoy what I was making. And I was just moving on to different things. What I didn't know is that, we all manage other people's image of us, like a role we play within a team, and we want to play our role really well. And everyone watching has an example of this exact thing. So the real question to you is, what's a version of yourself that you kept alive because you felt that people expected this out of you? Let me know in the comments below, because I'll be right there to discuss with you. So after years of just sporadically posting, I recently did a deep dive, and I found out that on my channel, I've been running 2 shows. One show is the vlogs, and the second one was pretty interesting. It was long rants that I just had in my mind, right? About dating, culture, all this stuff. A lot of you guys have been telling me for years that you missed Jomalian radio. You want me to go off and talk for a longer time. You were right. And then the data was right. And I just can't hide from that no more. Thanks for your patience with me. I was absolutely bored with YouTube for many, many years. And the only reason why I have JK News is because it's the easiest thing in the world. I get to hang out with my buddies and talk for a business. And I'm just hella grateful that I get to do that. But at the same time, a lot of things has changed for me. When you guys met me, I was 23. You lick my butthole. You lick my butthole. And since then, you guys watched me launch Joombi in Hawaii with my friends and family. I don't really say this, but I fell upon consulting, helping businesses fix their issues, all this stuff, all this boring stuff, okay? I've been doing workshops, how to mix business, sales, all that with digital content. I was also fixing broken machines at the shop, learning how to be a plumber, learning how to be a soft serve tech, all of that, okay? So I was totally fine just doing JK News. But since we only do like 15-minute videos, something kept picking at me. So there were topics I really wanted to go deeper on, but like I only get 2 minutes to say something. So I realized I don't have an issue with YouTube. It's not content creation that made me bored. I have a problem with being honest with myself. As I mentioned, I did these couple of videos where I just went on a long rant, right? A stream of consciousness of how I thought about the world. It just never clicked to make it a regular thing because at the time, I just didn't think that people really liked it. Yes, over the years, you guys have been telling me in my DMs, in the comments of my channel, JK News, right? Like this one. In another life, Joe would make a fun history or religions teacher. Need a 1-hour podcast on Joe and aliens. I could listen to Joe talk about this for hours. One episode where Joe tells us his story. No one talks, just Joe and his story. We need Joe telling us about compound interest and index fund. I'm confused and broke. Me, bro? You want me to teach? There's so many better YouTubers for all this. I do hate the fact that there's these stupid fake gurus now that are like trying to teach everybody about business and they never done anything in their lives. Anyways, we'll get back to that. So the thing is, I always liked sharing conversation with the group. I've been here for 19 years and it still feels weird for me to just sit by myself and talk into the camera. It's just really weird, right? I like interaction with people. I like a group setting. I like to do things in teams. You guys gave me the courage and focus that I needed to realize this, so I thank you. So since you're asking for this like long video format, don't say I didn't warn you. This is gonna be crazy. Also, some of you guys been following for a super long time, okay? We got like 8 years, we got 10 years, 11, 12, 13, 14 years. You're a whole junior high kid. So whatever topic you want me to discuss, go ahead and leave in the comments below. I realize that there's certain things that I do in life that I find extremely boring, like compound interest. Why would you say that? But if enough of you guys say it, then I'm gonna be like, oh, well, clearly this is interesting to you. So let's try talking about it. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I always thought you found it the most entertaining when I talked about stealing chips from 7-Eleven or something. Here's some topics that might interest you. Yes or no, let me know. So I miss the 2016 internet deeply. Before everything was this like divisive slop, rage bait, freaking politics stuff. I'm sick of seeing these digital freaking TikTok fake gurus that live in Southeast Asia trying to teach you about business when they never ran anything in their lives. If you are an entrepreneur, and I know a lot of business owners and freelancers follow me, and you're tired of them too, because you see it. You're like, that's not how businesses run. I want to give you business strategy that you can actually use. But I always felt that, people knew me to be a clown. And I know that you know that I run businesses, but it's not really a fun topic, is it? I don't know. But let me know. Also, in a world where like we have these clickbait, red pill, taboo, all this, left, right, woke, whatever, right? I always thought that this fan base was way more sensible. We like talking about deeper stuff beyond the surface, but keep it lighthearted. And I want to have some thought exercises on topics like culture, dating, relationships, countries, power, how to get away with crime, all kinds of crazy stuff. And ultimately, I like sharing my life stories uninterrupted of 2 decades of building with friends, family, and a wife that I rescued from a very remote, poor, unknown island nation called Great Britain. I don't think navigating life has been easy for any of us. So let's go through all of this together and try to make sense of this recklessness. And what I'm really interested in is having conversations in the community around things that we were never taught, like how money actually works, like how marriages really survive, and like why do humans do the dumb things that they do? Let's figure all of this out together because first and foremost, I don't like these fucking TikTok gurus, man. They fucking get on my nerves. What the hell is this like 19-year-old motivational speaker gonna tell me anything about life? And also, I wanna be surrounded by people who rather build than be angry at the world. I wanna be around people who know that they can take action into their own lives. And all of these things that we talk about from life stories and whatever, we can apply it, we can learn from it, we could grow from it. Why can't we just keep it lighthearted and fun? So also, I've been hosting meetups and, cigar nights wherever I land, LA, Vegas, Hawaii. I like this in-person stuff way more now. There's no charge or anything like that. It's like if you like smoking cigars and you want to have a good conversation or whatever, or we have workshops that's focused around Instagram or content creation, or maybe it's the boring business stuff, whatever it is, right? Go ahead and check out the link below. I have a quick little sign up in case my YouTube, something happens. I don't want to lose contact with you guys who've been around for so long. So after watching all of this and hearing me out, if you're still like, you know what? I was waiting for you to eat a habanero and destroy your guts. Well, guess what? I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. And if this just isn't for you anymore, then please unsubscribe. No, seriously, when I have a ton of dead subs and no one's clicking the video, what ends up happening is that YouTube just thinks that this channel's inactive and so are the subs. You guys are uninterested. So if you're not going to watch anymore for the algo, please do me this one last favor, goodbye, and peace out, unsubscribe. But if you're sticking around, you're excited, you're just like, oh man, I just been waiting, dude. Thank you for your patience, but make sure you hit that notification bell because I don't have a weekly schedule or anything like that. It's just gonna pop up. Once that video pops up, I'm gonna be in the comments discussing live. Hopefully we catch each other. So that'll be pretty cool. Last but not least, I'm super curious, okay? Leave in the comments below, how long ago did you first subscribe? Like if you even know when you subscribed to me, what year, that would be really cool to find out. And if you even remember the first video that you saw on this channel. All right, till next time, stay tuned. Good things are coming.